what's up? Sinisa, Super Bad Estrada here, and I just want to give a huge special shout out to the Relay. Thank you so much for all of the continuous support, and thank you for all of the support during and after and before every single fight.
Welcome to the motherfucking Relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. It appears that the WBA has ordered Lara versus Michael Zerafa. Esquiva Falcao seeks new opponent for IBF title. It was originally reported that Esquiva Falcao would be facing Michael Zerafa.
That news came first.
Appears there's been a change in plans. The choice ultimately became an easy one for Michael Zerafa. BoxingScene.com has confirmed that the Australian middleweight contender has abandoned his role in the previously ordered IBF vacant title fight versus Brazil's Esquiva Falcao. The development comes just as the WBA ordered its middleweight titleist Lara to next defend versus Zerafa as his mandatory challenger, and as the IBF was prepared to host a purse bid hearing, which is now cancelled. Lara, who is represented by TGB Promotions on behalf of PBC, and Zerafa will have until April 3rd to reach terms.
Gennady Golovkin chucking a WBA title is basically what set all these events in motion.
Initially, he was the one that was supposed to be fighting Lara in defense of his title.
This is mandatory.
A few die-hard Gennady Golovkin apologists aside, I still feel that it's bad optics that this is what he elected to do instead of fighting that guy.
So here we are.
Zerafa's team, led by manager Grant Elvis Phillips, initially sought a 30-day extension to the IBF purse bid, which was scheduled to take place Tuesday at IBF headquarters in Springfield, New Jersey. A compromise was originally reached between Zerafa's side and Top Rank, who promotes Falcao, and instead agreed to a 7-day exception to reschedule to March 21st. However, the IBF informed all registered promoters on Monday of a March 14th hearing. It came to the surprise and chagrin of Team Zerafa, who still waited for news of a potential 14-day extension, but was instead met with the sudden update of original plans remaining in place in lieu of their previous agreement.
And you know what this means? If Lara is under orders to fight Michael Zerafa, he's not at liberty to fight Danny Garcia.
Widespread rumors and speculations indicated that Lara's first defense of the WBA title would be a voluntary defense against Danny Garcia.
Not anymore.
After trying to reach you by phone and via text, I come to find out today, the day before the original purse bid date of March 14th, 2023, that according to you, Mr. Carl Moretti, top-ranked VP of Operations, has reneged on the March 21st purse bid extension. Phillips told IBF President Daryl Peebles and all the IBF registered promoters in an email exchange obtained by BoxingScene.com. If Mr. Moretti had agreed to an extension until March 21st, I cannot understand. Why would the IBF let him break such an agreement?
Why?
And when would I have ever been informed of this? Had I not been persistent in reaching out to you regarding any extension past the already agreed upon 7 days that Moretti had previously agreed, what surprises me the most about Mr. Moretti's position is the fact that at no point did Top Rank show any interest in promoting their fighter, Mr. Falcao. Therefore, reneging on his agreeing to a 7-day purse bid extension is nonsensical. Given these unfortunate circumstances, the interested parties that I have been in discussions with regarding the purse bid, which was supposed to take place on March 21st after prior agreements by Mr. Moretti, I must inform you that Mr. Zerafa has decided to pursue other options and will no longer fight for the IBF middleweight title against Mr. Falcao. Falcao and Zerafa were previously ordered on February 9th to negotiate terms for the IBF middleweight title fight shortly after the belt was vacated by Gennady Golovkin.
The two sides were given 30 days to reach terms. Needless to say, they never got there.
And you know, what's happening now will greatly affect the landscape at middleweight moving forward, because the way it breaks down, there are 2 titles on the PBC side of things and 2 titles on the Top Rank side of things. On the PBC side, you've got the WBA title that Lara just got, and you have the WBC title that Jermall Charlo still has.
On Top Rank, you have Johnny Beck, the reigning WBO middleweight champion.
And you have the IBF title that for now is still vacant, but Top Rank is involved in the career of Esquiva Falcao, and it's conceivable that at some point he'll be IBF champion as soon as they find him a dance partner.
Ranked right behind Michael Zerafa at number 3 in the IBF's current rank standings is Vincenzo Gualtieri.
Ranked right behind Vincenzo is Dennis Radovan at number 4. Both guys are from Germany.
Esquiva Falcao may end up boxing one of them for the newly vacated IBF title.
And even if the fight between Falcao and any one of those 2 guys and just any one of those other guys ranked by the IBF, even though that's not a high-profile fight.
Falcao versus any one of those guys.
Those are not high-profile fights, any way you slice them, but they are relatively inexpensive fights that will have a palpable effect on the division moving forward. It just so happens that Yanni Bekalim-Kanalai is greatly struggling to find a dance partner, a worthy one.
Esquiva Falcao, if he becomes IBF champion.
Well, that in and of itself would help to solve that problem, at least temporarily. That would be at least one meaningful fight, one significant fight that you could put Yanni back in. But first, they've got to find Esquiva Falcao a dance partner.
Michael Zerafa hasn't left them with much of a choice.
He's supposed to be fighting Erislandy Lara now. And, if you're Michael Zerafa, you had two options to fight for a world title. You can go the Falcao route, but Falcao, that's an unbeaten Olympian, a medalist.
Whereas Erislandy Lara is an aging fighter, an aging champion, close to his 40s.
On behalf of Team Zerafa, thank you for giving us the opportunity to fight for the IBF middleweight title, noted Phillips. I sincerely hope that after many years of cooperation and mutual respect we've shared, someone would have given me the courtesy of not waiting until the day before the retracted purse bid to inform me of what should have been addressed at least 1 week prior. This breakdown in communication at the IBF is unfortunate, to say the least.
Bit of happenstance for Michael Zerafa that the WBA happened to order this fight when they did, just as things were breaking down between Michael,
the IBF, Top Rank, and Esquiva Falcao. That just like that, another door opened.
I ain't gonna beat around the bush here. I don't think Michael Zerafa would have beat Esquiva Falcao, and I'm really not convinced he's going to beat Erislandy Lara either. But if you are Michael Zerafa, Lara is the more desirable opponent because he's older.
Esquiva Falcao ain't making big waves in today's middleweight division, but what he is an unbeaten Olympian, a silver medalist, and a southpaw.
That's all bad.
Whereas Lara is older, several years older than Esquiva Falcao, more war-torn. He's been in wars, and maybe Michael likes his chances against Lara a little more than he likes his chances than
if he were fighting Falcao.
2 titles on the PBC side of things, 2 titles on the Top Rank side of things. That's how it breaks down.
That's where it's at.
Each promotional outfit in the near future will be able to stage at least one unification match between their champions.
Give it time.
I can't wait! I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm fucking ready to rock and roll. I wish it was this weekend. Usyk, you gappy teeth, ugly, bog-eyed rabbit cat, ugly piece of shit. You are getting knocked the fuck out! And for all the haters out there as well, a massive fuck you! Because they got 70% of the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship! Simon Jordan, you a little bitch! No wonder you lost 100 million, bitch! Wrong business, you little sausage! Joe Parker, we cannot wait!
Can't wait!
Cruiserweight's getting smashed! Christian's strongest they've ever been! He's a monster! I'm a fucking monster! Ah! Cruiserweights again demolished! Get up!
Tyson Fury started off the day with that video by way of his social media. Had a few choice words for the people criticizing him.
Based on how he's handling negotiations with Alexander Usyk.
A few choice words for Usyk himself and a few words for Talk Sport host Simon Jordan.
He laid into that guy as well.
Simon Jordan caught wind of this and he took it in stride. He didn't make too much of it. He addressed it.
Cruiserweights again demolished! Get up!
No, my little sausage.
He's a wally, isn't he? I mean, never mind Gypsy King. He's the Gormless King. He tagged it into Simon Cowell, didn't he? He put it on Instagram. Tagged it into Simon Cowell. God, he's feeble-minded sometimes, isn't he?
And for all the haters out there as well, a massive fuck you!
But he's a bit of a Burke, isn't he? I mean, the fact of the matter is we've done nothing but champion him forever and a day to the point where you and I get called Fury fans left, right and centre, and he gets one little bit of criticism.
Simon Jordan, you a little bitch!
And he gets all feeble-minded and weak and offended by it.
No wonder you lost 100 million, bitch!
I'd like you to come and say these things to us in the studio because you duck all that. What you do is you come along to press conferences, wave your little silly face around for 5 minutes and disappear off with some money you bet Frank Warren with.
Simon Jordan, you a little bitch!
Look, the bottom line is that I really don't care what Tyson Fury says about me and observations he makes about people's opinions.
Wrong business, you little sausage!
But the moment you say anything to these guys that they don't like, they'll have all the praise. They're worse than footballers. They have all the praise. You're wonderful, Tyson. You're the person that unified the... Tyson, you walk around, you're a walking contradiction. You never pay your bets. You never say what you're going to do. You know, we have boar's meat, you know, that you scoff down your face with Nandrel, and we can have a whole raft of things against you, Tyson, that make you look like a hypocrite. But most of the time, what we do is say, you are the best heavyweight in the world.
Of course.
You are the one that opened the division.
Joe Parker, we cannot wait!
But here's a little bit of criticism, and off you are with one of your demented little rants with your little bag carriers in the back going, yeah, Team Tyson.
He's a monster! I'm a fucking monster!
By the way, can we get paid, Governor? Of course you can. Team Tyson. Oh, get over it. Get on with the fight.
I think Simon Jordan speaks for all of us when he says that. We don't need another dog and pony show. We don't need endless videos uploaded to your social media. We need you to make this fight.
That's it.
We don't need the showmanship. We don't need any of it. What we need more than anything is to know that you can deliver on a deadline and deliver us this fight, because if you don't, everybody's gonna blame you.
You already moved the fight from Saudi to the UK, costing Alexander Usyk millions. You already imposed a 70-30 split on him.
A split many people deem unfair, costing him even more millions.
You start up with this jackpot about a rematch clause that Usyk's people say you're the one that wanted.
It sounds a lot like you're waiting till the last possible minute to change the terms of engagement in order to drag this out longer than it needs to.
Why are you doing that?
People think he's trying to sabotage this fight.
And that's how it looks.
Alex, Usyk's manager, you sausage. Borat wants his voice back, you f***ing bum. You'll get what you're getting, don't worry. You're the worst manager in history. You got your fighter to accept 30%, you bum dosser.
Well, if Usyk hadn't have accepted that 70-30 split that you imposed on them, that split that you imposed, we would have no fight.
And then what? We're supposed to blame them?
They accept the split, they accept your terms, and now you're lambasting them for that. You're chastising them for that. I mean, who do you think is...
It's like 2015, 2016 all over again.
He's becoming a social pariah again.
Ha 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 ha! You're not that clever, are you, you bum? You got outwitted by a man who never went to school in his life. Sausage!
And even with Alexander Usyk accepting that 70-30 split, there still seems to be trouble in paradise. There still seem to be issues and problems. Now, it's the rematch clause thing.
This guy's a fucking retard. He can't do a fight without causing a bunch of problems.
Keep talking, your boy's gonna get smashed. And he's going to be beltless like the other bum, AJ.
Living rent-free in Tyson Fury's mind is none other than former unified champion Anthony Joshua, who he can't help but bring up. He can't help but mention him.
He's obsessed.
Come on! Rule Britannia. It's been over the last few days, terrorising Usyk and his team. Tomorrow I'm going to knuckle down into training camp. And I'll be doing a blackout, as I always do, on social media. Nav will be running my Instagram account, keeping you all updated on my training progress and everything's going. April 29th is definitely a worker. I will see you all on the night. Tune in, or be there and be square. This is the biggest event in British boxing history. The fight of the century, 2 undefeated world heavyweight champions, throwing down to see who is number 1 in the division. The undisputed World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Peace out. Good training to Usyk. May the best man win. Get up!
Hey, greedy belly. Don't be afraid. I won't leave you alone.
Alexander Usyk's promoter Alex Krassyuk on Tyson Fury undisputed fight rematch clause stated, "It is not resolved yet. We expect Tyson Fury to go live again and offer something like 2 or 3 matches because he likes to have 3 matches with one fighter."
Like he did with Deontay Wilder and like he did more recently with Derek Chisora, quite unnecessarily.
The he said, she said routine.
All that.
About the rematch clause and who wanted it and whether or not it should be there. It's typical of a Tyson Fury set of negotiations, but not so typical of an Usyk set of negotiations. You can't find an easier guy to have to negotiate with, and that's why most
People are starting to turn on Tyson Fury.
because they see how difficult he's making things. Alexander Usyk has only accepted a 70-30 purse split for the Tyson Fury fight if it happens on April 29th. His promoter, Alex Krassyuk, has clarified all the conditions accepted by Usyk are only for April 29th. If it moves just one day, it's going to be 50-50 again.
They'll never get that fight for that split.
The only way it was possible to do the fight at a 50-50 split was if the Saudis were involved, and needless to say, they're not involved anymore. If you're relying on the Brits...
The British boxing community, you know what Tyson Fury's gonna do? You know how he's gonna play it? Because he just played it.
70-30, no rematch clause.
All the while, Frank Warren is providing reassurances that the fight will stay the course. It will go down April 29th. The bit about the rematch, it's nothing.
Nothing they can't work around, nothing they can't overcome. Whether or not you believe him, I'll leave such judgments up to you.
I mean, it's irrelevant. It's all totally fucking irrelevant. The fight is happening. What can I say? It's happening, boys. It's happening, and that's it. Don't worry. Who cares what Tony Bellin says? I mean, who gives a toss? It's insignificant. These guys are the best. These are Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famer fighters. These are great fighters. Who gives a monkeys what he said? You mean to say if it was him there, he wouldn't be saying that he wants the lion's share and so forth? Do me a favour. Fuck him.
Why is 70% justified for Tyson Fury at Wembley? Tell me.
Because that's what we secured for him. You know, we'll sell out. Those tickets go like that. The thing is, Tyson said to make this an easier deal so we're not hanging around and so forth, and sometimes rematches, depending who wins the fight, can take ages to take place. We've seen some of them fall over. Kill it. I'm not interested in it. Let's just go straight to it. Let's see who's the best man. The best man walks away with a prize. No obligations. You can go and do what you like then.
Sounds good, but if the arrangement up until this point indicated that both men would get a rematch clause
All these weeks, all these months, if that was the arrangement, that was the deal, when you just decide to up and change it.
Frank can run interference as much as he likes, and what remains of Tyson Fury's fan base, they can run as much interference as they like. Most people agree he's making things difficult, and there's no reason for it.
If this causes the fight to fall apart, it'll be his fault.
Public opinion of the last few days that Tyson Fury's ducking Alexander Usyk.
I don't know what to say to you. What can I say to you? I mean, you know, has Tyson ever ducked anybody?
Some people will say that he did, that he bailed on Ustinov, never got around to fighting David Price back when it meant something to fight David Price.
A lot of people agree that he swerved that Klitschko rematch. They don't believe that he was injured. They don't believe the bit about his mental health.
If you're relying on public opinion of Tyson Fury as a safety net to absolve him of ducking accusations, well, the public,
They're not exactly on his side right now.
the more issues these negotiations encounter, the more people blame Tyson Fury.
More and more people.
We don't want alternatives. We don't want long and drug-out explanations. We don't want he said, she said. We don't want social media call-outs, videos. We want the fight.
You say you're going to deliver it.
Deliver it on a deadline. On the 29th of next month. You say.
There's no Eddie Hearn to blame. No Anthony Joshua.
It's just you, Frank. Just you and your ward. Just you and your fighter who has a reputation for making things difficult.
It's just you and Team Usyk, and Team Usyk ain't got the reputation that your fighter has.
All you can do to save face in the situation is deliver the fight.
Nothing else will suffice.
All you can do is deliver the fight.